Welcome to the Using Uniprint tutorial. In an effort to create a greener, more environmentally friendly campus and to reduce printing costs to the university, the WPU-NJ Information Technology units have worked together to unify our printing policies. Veros Uniprint is the service that William Patterson will now be using to help students print using university printers. Students can print from any university computer or from their own devices, including laptops, tablets, and smartphones. First, I will go over how to send a document to the My Print Center page. To get to your My Print Center page, simply go to your web browser and type in the address bar wpunj.edu/webprint, and it'll bring you to this login page. When your username and password will be the same that you use to log into a university computer. This is your My Print Center page. In order to get a document onto your job list, which is this, you go to Upload and trace your way to find your document. In this case, I saved it to my desktop and I named it Example. Now I can go through the steps to get this to print. Another way to print a document is to go directly through email. So what you would do is you would find your email with your document attached. It has to be an attachment and not a share. And I can tell this is attached because it says it right here. So all you have to do is forward the email that has your attachment to one of two email addresses. One is for black and white prints and the other is for color. For black and white prints, you type in printbw@wpunj.edu and you send that. When you send it, you will get a confirmation email back in a few seconds and it will appear on your My Print Center page. This is the document I just sent. In order to do a color print, you do the same thing. You forward, that was the confirmation email. You forward your email, but this time you would forward it to printcolor@wpunj.edu and you send that. And in a couple of seconds, it'll appear here. One last thing to note is that even though I chose to forward an email to these email addresses, you can send a direct email to these email addresses to print. Now I will go over My Print Center. As you can see, there's a job list here. This shows all of the items that you sent to your printing queue. You can either go through with printing these jobs, or you can delete them using the delete icon here. For example, I see that there are two documents that have the same name, and I suspect they're the same thing. I can check that by hitting Print Preview here, so I can see both prints, and now I see they are the same. So I've decided to delete one. I'm going to make sure the check is there and not there, and hit delete. Now the titles up here are very important. Over here is type. Now this says that it's a Word document. There are several types of documents that you can print from Uniprint. They include Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDFs, images, text, and Visio. Over here is the title of your document, the print preview we've gone over. Now pages and pieces of paper. The pages are how many pages your document came out to be. Pieces of paper is how many pieces of paper you're actually going to use. Our default is to print duplex black and whites. So for example, if I just wrote a 16-page paper, pages would say 16 and pieces of paper would say 8. This tells you when you submitted it, and this tells you the cost, which brings me to payment method. Down here, this keeps track of how much you've printed and how much you can still print. We now use dollars and cents to represent that figure instead of pages. Now, it says $7.50, which everyone is entitled to at the beginning of spring 2015. $7.50 is the equivalent of 150 pages. The way I can check that is by going to the IT Wiki page and searching printing. This chart will tell you exactly how much each print is worth. So for example, you can see that a duplex print is worth less than a single-sided print, and that color is worth more than black and white. This is going to help you determine how much you're going to print and what you're going to print. Now over here is where you can make those decisions. By clicking on the job you wish to decide on, you can choose whether or not to do color or single-sided, double-sided, how many copies and such. For color, this is going to be very important. You saw that this document is completely black and white. So if I try to hit color, it won't let me. If you find that you print a lot and you've used up your $7.50, you can go to this link here, the Add Funds to Pioneer Express, which will take you to this familiar page. All you have to do is follow the instructions and you can add more prints. Over here is the final step to printing. Click on the drop-down bar for Select a Printer, and it will show you all of the active printers on campus. So for example, right here, that HB114, it says Hobart Hall 144 BW Color. Now what that means is the printer is located in Hobart Hall, room 144, and that it's black and white and color capable. Another way I can tell if it can print color is by hovering over this icon, which says color capable, as opposed to this printer that is in College Hall, room 145. I hover over that icon and it says black and white, so I know I can't print color there. If you're not sure if there's a printer in your building, you can always type it down here. So for example, well, I just found out that there's a printer in the Science Hall and that it's in room 3054. Not only that, but now I know it's color capable. If I'm not 100% sure, if I want to check another way, you can go to this link here to WPU NJ Campus Map. That's going to show me where there are printers located, so I know that there are none in Pioneer Hall. So for example, if I click on Hobart Hall again, it will show me where Hobart Hall is, and it will tell me what kind of a printer is there and what I can do with it. I know that I can do color, black and white, and I know that I can make copies and that I can scan. The last step to printing is to actually hit print. There are two ways for you to do this. You can either hit this yellow print button here, or you can go to a release station. If you hit this yellow print button here, it will print as soon as you hit that, so you should probably be near the printer that you have selected. If you use a release station, that's normally because you fill up your job list here and you're nowhere near the printer you intend to be near. So for example, if I have a class in the atrium, but I'm in Pioneer Hall, I can add a job to my job list and let it sit there. Your jobs will stay in the job list for 24 hours. So by the time I get to the atrium, I can go up to a release station and release it there. There are several ways to release your print. You can either log into the computer and pull up My Print Center, or you can go up to the multifunction printer and you can tap your ID on it and it will give you your job list where you can select your job. You can also release your print using your smartphone. All you have to do is go to wpunj.edu/webprint and you'll get a page like this. It's important to note that you cannot change your printing options on the printer itself. Next, we'll take a look at the new printers. All of our printing centers will have these new HP MFPs. MFP stands for Multifunction Printer. They will be the only printers capable of printing color. Additionally, they can copy and scan to USB or email. As I had mentioned earlier, you can release a print by just tapping your ID on the printer. If you don't have your ID, you can also log in using your username and password that you use to log into Uniprint. To release a print, just select Print Release and then select the document you want to print. To copy a document, slip it in the tray at the top and select Copy. You can also scan to a USB by selecting here and naming your file and selecting the file type you want to save it as. Your USB gets inserted here in the printer. To scan a document, lift the lid and place the paper in the top left-hand corner. From there, you can choose to send it as an email or save to the USB. To print a document from your USB, select Retrieve from USB and select your document. From there, you can print. If you did not already release your print using a smartphone or computer, you can still use a release station where you just sign in using your login and password. You can also still swipe your ID. The release stations in the atrium only go to the black and white printers on the left. In order to print color, you must use the MFP on the right. If you have any questions or problems, feel free to visit wpunj.edu/itwiki, or the nearest TC would be happy to help.